I'm gonna talk about age, some facts, not age, you know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, how old you are. Hey guys, I'm Sophie and this is my book space. Welcome back. Welcome if you're new. If you're not new, I don't care. This is a booktube channel, but today we're not gonna talk about books. Well, in some way, because we're gonna talk about Danish school, and you use books in school, but that's not gonna be the main focus. I have again acquired my nice tablet because there's a lot of details today, so I need my notes. I am gonna talk about just like some basic things about Danish school that might differentiate from other places, because I know a lot of countries have high school, and what the fuck, like the first time I read a book taking place at a high school, I was so confused because that's like the opposite of Danish school. So I thought I'd do a video about Danish school, also because you might have heard me say I graduated a couple of times on my channel, and no, I didn't graduate high school. I didn't graduate middle school because that's not what it's called here. Here it's called Folkeskole, and it's pretty much just like public school. But I'm gonna talk about age and just the basic concepts. Let's get started. In Denmark, we're on first name basis with all our teachers. I know that in a lot of countries you're not, which I find kind of sad because like it feels more welcome to call your teachers by their name. Yeah. And you don't really, in Denmark, at least not in public school. In private schools they might do this, but in public school we don't use grades until the kids are in 8th or 7th grade, I can't remember, but that's when they're around like 13, 14 years old. And we go to school around 30 to 35 hours a week, depending on how old you are. Yeah, and also if you have special needs. And from pre to lower secondary school you have class with the same people, the same students, and you use the same classroom, so it is the teachers that move around the school from classroom to classroom. Most schools, small schools in really small towns might not have this, but otherwise all public schools have preschool, primary and lower secondary school in like on the same premises. So I, as a 15-year-old, went to school the same place as a 6-year-old. So there's a lot of age range, which is a lot different from America, where you have like high school at one place and middle school another, and primary school and all that stuff. So that was like the basics. And then now we're at age. What happened to my voice there? When you're 6 years old, you start like an actual school, and you have 1 year of preschool, which we call 0th grade, and then from 7 to around 15 you go through primary and lower secondary school, and that's what I've graduated from. So I'm going to the next step, which is 10th grade. It's basically just an addition to like Folkeskolen as preschool, primary school and lower secondary school like together. That's just called Folkeskolen in Danish. It's basically just an addition to that. A lot of this is not mandatory like the first years were, and a lot of young people my own age take this year to find out what education they want further on, or to bump up their skills a bit, or to go to Afterschool, which translated directly means after school, but that doesn't really make sense. How I'd like to explain it is 1 year of college. It is basically a year where you live on the school premises. It's a private school because you pay money to go there. And why I'm telling you this, you will understand later. You can take after a year on Afterschool. Skole means school. So folkeskole means folk school, like people's school. And Afterskole, as I said, after school, but it's more like boarding school. You can take this year in 8th, 9th, or 10th grade, and a lot of people take it in 9th or 10th grade, maybe both. I'm only doing 10th grade, and I'm like really excited. That's also part of why I wanted to do this video, because I'm not gonna be able to post as much. Maybe it's gonna be one video each 14th, like each second week, because I want to have the opportunity to film at the school. And I'll just be really like busy. And the first 2 weeks I won't even have my phone because we gotta get to know each other. Hope I'm gonna survive. Well, I know I am, but like, you get it. Oh goodness. Anyway, that's what I'm doing this year. That's also why you see all this mess over here, and there's some mess over here you can't see. Because I have to pack for like a year. Let's move on. If you don't choose 10th grade, after public school, folkeskole, you can go and take an upper secondary education, which is 10 to 12th grade, I guess they call it here, but we call it 1st, 2nd, and 3rd G. If you're going to a gymnasium, which is basically high school, I guess. It works kind of like high school, but now I said I don't get high school because I haven't been I haven't gone to the gymnasium yet, obviously. So I haven't tried education like that yet. And that is basically 3 years, but you can also go like to production school, or yeah, there's a lot of different choices and opportunities for you, and that is one of the reasons why a lot of people take 10th grade. And after that you can take a higher education. Yeah, and now I'll just show you some random facts I found. And if you want to learn more, by the way, I will link a few pages down below where I found this research, because believe me, I would easily explain the Danish school system in Danish, but in English it is a bit harder because I had to find names for all of these school things. Anyway, the first fact is it is mandatory for all Danish children to finish primary and lower secondary school, which is 1st to 9th grade. That is mandatory. And only 15% of the population, or like student population I guess, attends private school instead of public school. And over 80% continue their education after 9th grade, which is pretty good if you ask me. And here's where money comes into the picture. School is tax financed from preschool to higher education, which means you don't have to pay for this shit. I mean, like, amazing. But yeah, by paying your taxes, by your parents paying your taxes, by everybody paying their taxes basically. School is paid for, as well as like healthcare and police and a lot of other like things. Yeah, so that's why people like they can say, oh, it's mandatory to get an education from like 0th to 9th grade, because you don't have to pay for it, so everybody has access to it. It's just really nice. And I can see we have time for the grading system as well, because those letters you use some places like A+ and stuff. We don't do that. We have a very, very weird and detailed, more like specific grading system in Denmark. There's been some talk about the politicians maybe changing it, because it is not the best system right now. So that's exciting to hear. Yes. But the grades are like this. The worst grade you can get is -3. And that means unacceptable performance. Basically you fail if you get this, like you fail big time. And it's like, this grade isn't given to a lot of students. Like it's really, really not often they have to use this grade, the teachers. It's more rare than like getting the best grade, that is getting the worst grade. Then the next one is just 0, 0. And it means inadequate performance. If you get 0, 0, the paper is also failed, not failed. And the next one is 0, 2, which means adequate performance. So if you just get like to a 0, 2, you have like, what is it called? Well, you haven't failed. And if you get a 4, it says fair performance. If you get 7, good performance. 10, very good performance. And 12, excellent performance. As you can see, the like ranging from like one grade to another, that is really uneven. Like sometimes it's 2, other times it's 3, so it's difficult to like, should it be this or this? That was a bit about the Danish school system. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you want to know more, tell me. I might come up with another idea of Danish school. Otherwise you can always check out the links. And there's not much else to say except be nice to each other and stay reading.